What do you make of these apparent terror attacks in New Orleans? Well, the attack in New Orleans and then the exploding Cybertruck in Las Vegas.
So, it's early. And one of the things I learned, in my time dealing with detections and in the intel world is, you want to be careful about what you think you believe. You still get the story. What we know so far about New Orleans is it looks like other types of...
Yes, I don't know if you've seen this. Former CIA Bernard Hudson sat down with Tucker Carlson to talk about what we have recently seen. The explosion at Trump Hotel. I think I've done about 3 videos pertaining to this topic. The stories that are coming out, still here, we don't really know the truth of what is going on. He had something to say. We are going to take an exclusive look into everything. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that. It will do you no harm if you share out the video. If you remember yesterday, I posted a similar video talking about this topic. Mm, YouTube had to do something on that video. I was actually shocked if these people don't like the truth, but I will continue to show you what is going on. I understand that truth sometimes can be bitter.
So, it's early. And one of the things I learned, in my time dealing with detections and in the intel world is, you want to be careful about what you think you believe. You still get the story. What we know so far about New Orleans is it looks like other types of attacks we've seen over the years, sort of somebody becomes self-radicalized and then carries out, an extreme act with little preparation time ahead of the actual attack. So often in these type of cases, somebody may have been thinking about doing some violent action. Something happens in their life, they see, think, or believe something,
exactly.
and they simply are triggered.
Yeah.
The, initial information, from, that I was reading earlier today was that the attack or whatever happened, the explosion in front of Trump Hotel is not related to, or they haven't detected any connections with what happened in New Orleans. Now, I think if I was still in government and 2 events happened on the same day or within, 24 hours of each other, that has sometimes been the hallmark of an organized terror. As a working theory,
Yes.
It's worthwhile to at least look into it. However, what little we know, and we don't know much about the attacker in Las Vegas, he doesn't seem to be of the same political persuasion. Again, we don't know a lot yet of the attacker in New Orleans. Now, you have 2 possibilities here. One, they're connected, which means that there was an organized effort and somebody missed it. Initial indications are that's probably not the case. The other option is that you've got 2 independent attacks. If this is really an attack, if it's really political in
Vegas.
in Las Vegas. What that would tend to tell you, and especially when you add in the attack or the murder of the United Healthcare CEO, which was clearly in many ways act of political terrorism, is something changing in the political atmosphere, which is already toxic, that is triggering a certain set of our population to say, whatever my personal beliefs are, they are so pushed to the edge.
Yes, this whole situation turned out to be advertising what Tesla is selling. Just imagine if this was a different car. What could have happened? Could have been more devastating. We are talking about one person. This person who set up the whole situation, losing his life because of the safetiness of the Cybertruck. Even the security officer made it clear, like, we thank Elon Musk for doing this truck. I'm just imagining what could have happened if it was a small other car. God is faithful. Sometimes things like this happen to expose the evil surrounding you. They struggle like this to, pen Elon Musk's business black. When I look at the mainstream media headlines, they are all lying, saying the same thing. I don't understand why they do this every time. Trying to pin like Elon Musk Cybertruck exploded. They don't mention anything like this was a planned act. They don't say things like that. Just to, play over his business, tarnish his business model. They can succeed. By putting this out, they thought people would fall for it, but the truth finally came out, and we are seeing what is going on.
I think it's too early to tell. Are we looking at is this sort of the new normal where as politics becomes more toxic in America, that people decide, to take, action on their own? We do know that tend to open the door to other acts. People who are inclined to do these type of things when they see will often, see that as like, well, that person can do it, I can do it. We just simply don't know.
So there's no indication that you've seen. Because everything you said suggests you think this is just domestic entirely. There's no foreign actor.
Inspired. So the guy in New Orleans apparently, was consuming ISIS type propaganda, and according to the what's in the papers or the the news media, had produced a couple of videos en route to the attack site making pro-ISIS statements. So in that case, yes, he's inspired by ISIS group, but it doesn't sound like he was getting any direction or had any help, which is its own troubling type of when they do this on their own and they don't require a conspiracy. It's very hard to catch them.
Of course.
There had been an early report, that the vehicle involved to come across from Mexico.
Yeah.
That seems to maybe not be true, but it does bring up an interesting point, which is, and part of the reason I think that had a lot of currency, it's very hard to have an effective counterterrorism policy if you don't have border control, because terrorism is about people. It's people who carry it out. In the last 4 years, we've had something like 9 million people show up at our borders unannounced.
Yes, Dr. Carlson raised an important question like, do you think, no, this is not linked to foreign interference? I have seen a lot of articles, videos, people saying, oh, ISIS, things like that. But FBI, from the information I read on their page, they have not said anything really linked to this. So I don't really understand what is going on here. I have been checking every single day now to see if I can get reliable information to what actually happened. Still yet, we can get some concluded that these people will never let the truth out. Who is me to actually go deep into looking into things like that? I'm just reporting the news so you can see exactly what is going on. I saw this video on Top Carson page today released few hours ago. It was important to show you these.
9 million people show up at our borders unannounced and have been allowed to come in and stay. 9 million people, if you aggregate it out on a monthly basis, is one U.S. Marine Corps worth of people every single month for 4 years. It's impossible to vet or to know anything meaningful about a Marine Corps' worth of people coming into this country every month.
A few moments later.
This has been a sort of interesting development.
As of the videos you see behind this is just for YouTube algorithm. You can skip every time you see these short clips behind my videos.
That's what he should be doing now. But to me, it's a little rich coming from somebody who we've seen time and time again eating McDonald's.
I know. Just something's going to be like a dome over all 50 states of these drones.
It could be
and they're
something
all
like
doing
that.
it. Well, why not? I mean, stranger things have happened.
Went like, how dare you? Do you even know what an audit is? And I'm like,
women and so many men are
theory that a lot of people seem to be coalescing around.
They were too woke, insisting that people use the term Latinx.
You have to say they. No, you have to do this.
Stop with the virtue signaling.
Step away from woke. Focus less on who is woke and more
on who is broke.
I've never seen that.
I saw so many liberals getting super excited every time Kamala had a new celebrity endorsement. But we all know for a fact that these celebrity endorsements are not free.
Oh, is it true that they paid you $1 million for the endorsement for Kamala?
Not true.
Now it's time to unite everybody.
I want you to know what would change after doing this.
Comes out against Trump.
I don't care if they write that.
So, with that, I'm going to shake it off.
Figure out a way to say thank you.
That guy's name, he's such an absolute prick. I can't stand him. But anyway,
Hey there. Not doing great.
Terrible night last night. It was a terrible night.
What will the rest of us be doing on day one?
Bishop Vigano, he says that
if I look at the big picture, it doesn't look good. So I'm going to work on this.
No matter what's going on out there in the world, of course, the worst things could happen.
So we fell short. I'm saying